Hey ho people, it's Stylosa and good lord, it's the 4th day of the super steep summer sales, oh my god. So what have we got? Well, we've got the Darkness 2, we've got Serious Sam Battle for Earth, we've got the Indie Bundle 4, we've got Saints Row the 3rd, we've got Trine 2, we've got Hitman Blood Money, we've got Mountain Blade, we've got The Walking Dead, and we've got Cities Exile 2012, do not buy that, it's terrible. So let's go over the games. So the first thing we've got is the Darkness 2. Now, you're like a mafioso guy, obviously being 2, it's a sequel. And you're like infected with the darkness, or you've got this like crazy devil entity inside you, and it's obviously a first person shooter game, and you go around basically killing people in like horrific ways. You've got these crazy demonic tentacles that come out of your back, and they talk to you, and it's like, take us to the dark, and all this mad stuff. It's funny, and you can kill people in some absolutely crazy ways. And there's also this little guy in the game, I forget his name, he's like a little goblin, but he's like a cockney, like from London, and he's dead funny. But I don't think it's worth it because it's quite repetitive after a bit. Like there's only so many ways, or so many times you can kill somebody in a crazy way, and then it gets old. So I don't know, I wouldn't really recommend the Darkness to you. As ever, we'd like to hear your opinions on the negatives down below in the comments. When I say, no, don't buy that game, by all means tell me why I should be buying that game, because I'd really like to know. The next thing we've got is Serious Sam Battle for Earth. Now, this is quite good. This is like a traditional Serious Sam game with quite a nice graphics engine, and it plays quite well as well. So if anybody doesn't know, Serious Sam is just a case of hundreds of monsters running at you, and you've got loads of weapons, ridiculous, stupid weapons like rocket launchers and everything. You just blow away the monsters. It's totally mad. Co-op, it's really funny. Like the campaign co-op is really, really good. It does have multiplayer, but the multiplayer scene is completely non-existent. And when I last played it multiplayer, the servers I joined were totally full of hackers, so I wouldn't even bother for multiplayer content. But for the single player content, yeah, and definitely for co-op player content, I'm going to recommend that all day long, and that's 75% off, so yeah, that really is worth it. The Indie Bundle 4, now this contains A Valley Without Wind, which is quite a strange 2D procedurally generated platformer where you like essentially, again, I don't really know the point of the game. It's strange. It's the only way I can explain it. I did play the alpha ages and ages ago, and quite honestly I was a bit baffled as to what was going on. So I mean, the official description says it's an action game with tactical combat and city building. It's obviously an adventure game, it's free roaming, and it's procedurally generated. That's all I can really tell you about A Valley Without Wind. So who knows? Atom Zombie Smashing. Now I quite like this. This is like, you have to save people from like the zombie apocalypse, but well, by basically like evacuating people. So you have to like conduct the rescue operations, like forcing people to go to certain areas, telling snipers where to go, dropping artillery and all crazy stuff like that. It's quite good, this is, and it's got like a nice bit of polish to it. It's quite good. It's quite good, that is. I quite like that, indeed. The next thing in this indie bundle is Blocks That Matter. Now, I've not played this, but this is a platform game where you're a block. Well, apparently you're a tiny robot block that can, you're like a robot square with a drill, and you can drill other blocks and collect them and recycle them into new pieces and all crazy stuff like that. So it's like a platform puzzler game. But again, I don't really have that much, I don't have any experience with it, so I can't really comment on that, but I can only say what I see. And it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. It doesn't look that bad. Now, Sanctum, this is a different story. I quite like Sanctum, but I like the fact it's co-op. Now, it's an FPS tower defense game, but single player, it's not really that interesting. I'll be quite honest and say it's not. It's kind of, I'd rather play a traditional tower defense game, like a top-down, one, instead of having all the FPS elements to it. But co-op, it's actually quite entertaining, this is, because you can either decide to focus on your weapon or focus on your towers. Now, if you've got one person focusing on the towers and one person focusing on the weapons, you've got like a nice synergy there. It's a nice game. I quite like Sanctum. It runs on the Unreal Engine as well, so it looks fairly nice as well. Now, the last thing, I have absolutely no experience at all with, to the point of I'm actually going to have to read the goddamn store page to you right now, but this is Super Brothers Swords and Sorcery, which apparently is an exploratory action adventure with an emphasis on audio-visual style, Traverse a mythic little realm. Use a sword to do battle and evoke sorcery and to solve mystical mysteries. So I'm still in the dark. Although I think Rock Paper Shotgun quite enjoyed this game, so it must have some kind of worth. Indie worth, who knows. But it does look interesting based off the screenshot, so it's probably, you know... I mean, the indie bundles are always worth it anyway, because you're supporting indie developers, so, you know, it's just worth picking them up regardless anyway. Now, going back to the main deals, we've got Saints Row the Third. Now, it's just stupid. It's absolutely stupid. There's a massive playthrough with Jesse Cox and Wow Crendor on Jesse Cox and Crendor's channel. And you can just see how stupid it is. You know, you've got like a bloody 5-foot dildo as a weapon and stupid shit like that. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I think I'm a bit too mature for it. So I'm like, it doesn't really tickle my fancy at all. It's like, it sort of plays like Grand Theft Auto, third person, you know, free roaming around the city, but like totally over the top. But it's 75% off now. So if you're after a load of brain dead, mindless, stupid, immature fun, then it's probably worth a go. So I'd pick that up if you're that type of person looking for that type of crazy mental experience. The next thing we've got is Trine 2. Now this should just be an insta purchase because it's 75% off, and it's a cooperative physics platformer, and it looks really nice. Like the world is really nice. It's really like colourful. It looks nice. I can't really say that enough. It's a really nice world. It's great. Just buy this game. It's worth buying. Buy. Take it from Stylosa. Buy. You will enjoy this game. If you're playing it single player co-op or whatever, you will enjoy this game. Next, we've got Hitman Blood Money. Now, you can actually pick up the Hitman Collection, which is 75% off, and that, I believe, only makes it slightly more expensive than actual Hitman Blood Money. So you can pick up Hitman 2 Silent Assassin and Hitman Codename 47, which I believe is the original. Hitman games are Hitman games. You're a hitman, you go around and you have to assassinate people, attempting to cause, you know, the least disruption possible. You can kind of cause loads of disruption, but that can make the game a lot more difficult. But the games are really difficult anyway. So if you're after it's kind of like Thief, but not really, if anybody's familiar with Thief, where you're sort of skulking around. But I'd have to say it's probably, I mean, it's worth it for that much money. Hitman Blood Money for £1.49 in the UK, or 75% off wherever else you are. That's worth it. I would get that. It's worth it. You'll get some entertainment out of it. Now, Mount & Blade with Fire and Sword, need I say any more? This is probably the worst Mount & Blade in terms of, you know, what it actually brings to the table. I mean, you've got Napoleonic Wars out now, and obviously Mount & Blade Warband, which is by far the best one. But if you've never played Mount & Blade, you can pick up a really cheap Mount & Blade game here. So you still get the core Mount & Blade gameplay, but with Fire and Sword adds the invention of muskets and things like that into the game, which they are a little bit OP. Like, you can get killed in a massive like cavalry battle of like 200 horses. You could get randomly shot in the head at the start of the game, and then you're dead, and that's a bit painful right at the start of the battle. But I mean, for 75% off, you must have seen our Mount & Blade videos. If you haven't, links are all over the place. Click on them and go and watch them because they're crazy. You'll see how mental the game is. It's just totally mad. So The Walking Dead, this is based on... Well, it's based on a comic book, and it sort of allows you to experience horror. Or it is a horror game itself. Now, I've not played this at all, so I can't really comment on it, but it's a horror game, and it's got quite a high Metascore of 82. So it probably is worth looking into. I know they release episodes for this, so The Walking Dead episode 2, I think that's actually available on Steam right now anyway. But I do believe they plan to release episodes. Again, my information's a little bit thin on The Walking Dead. It's only 40% off though, so I don't know. Maybe it's one of those games where you could kind of save the money and wait for something else to come along. But whatever you do not buy Cities XL. This is terrible. This is like supposed to be like SimCity, but it is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, I've got horror stories from people I know who played the Cities XL games, which, by the way, are completely similar. Every single one is almost identical. Where the multiplayer component, you would select where to place your city, but if you're not placed in an area with oil, all of a sudden, you then need to go to the guy who's got the oil and say, I need the oil. And what does the guy do who's got the oil? He says, well, okay, you're going to be paying $200 a barrel and whatever, so you quickly become bankrupt, and it's like, it's just crap. It's not a SimCity game that you're looking for. If you're a fan of SimCity, do not buy that. It's just shite. Do not buy Cities XL. Terrible. The community's choice currently is Legend of Grimrock, which was on sale, I believe, the first day as a daily deal. But I'd pick that up if you missed it, because that's still worth it, even only at 60% off. It's your old school Dungeon Master remade in a modern engine. It's quite nice. It take you back to your youth, depending on what age you are, of course. Good lord. The votes for the next community deal, you've got Terraria, Dungeon Defenders and Bastion. Now I would probably say go for Bastion, although it's sort of a flip up between Bastion and Dungeon Defenders, although Bastion is like a gaming experience. That's the only way to describe that. It's got great narration, great soundtrack. No doubt you've probably seen the TGS podcast constantly playing Bastion soundtrack music. It's really good. So I'd probably say actually go for Bastion. But if Terraria is not really worth it, because Terraria, everybody should have Terraria by now, stuffed Terraria. The flash sales, we've got Killing Floor. Now, I played the free weekend of Killing Floor. This is like you just shoot zombies in the face and kill them en masse. And that's all I'm going to say. That is, I'd say get that, 75% off. I think I'm going to pick that off, and I think I'm going to give that to Kirioff as well, because that'll be quite funny, trying to survive the endless waves of horrid killer zombies. You can also play in London, I believe, as one of the maps, which is like an added bonus. Then we've got Magicka, which is 75% off. Now, if you don't have Magicka, buy it. But everybody's got Magicka, so I don't think anybody's going to buy it. I don't think we'll be seeing that on the top sellers list. And then we've got Microsoft Flight, which is 66% off. I have no idea. I've never played a flight simulator game in my life, so I cannot even comment on that. But if you do like flight simulator games, give it a look, because it might be worth it. Well, there you go, people. That is the roundup of today's Steam sales. We've got the Darkness 2. Probably don't buy that. We've got Serious Sam, get that. We've got the Indie Bundle, get that. We've got Saints Row the Third, get that if you're an immature idiot or you're just after some crazed, brainless action. We've got Trine 2, buy that. We've got Hitman. It's so cheap, just buy it. If you've not played the Hitman games, buy it. If you have, then kind of ignore it. It's not really worth it. Just remember it as the classic it was. Mountain Blade, if you don't own any Mountain Blade at all, then get Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. If you do own Mountain Blade Warband or Napoleonic Wars, don't bother with Mountain Blade Fire and Sword, because it's kind of in between, and it's arguably the worst Mountain Blade. The Walking Dead, again, this is quite expensive, this is, but if you're a fan of the comic, which I believe it comes from, then by all means go ahead and get it. And Cities XL's terrible, don't bother. Grimrock, if you don't have it, then get that. Vote for Bastion, and probably pick up Killing Floor. Oh, actually, I've missed Cube. How could I have missed that? That's I quite like that. It's kind of like Portal, but with cubes instead of portals. You've got a cube gun or gauntlet. So get that, because that's so cheap. Get that, and in fact, I'm going to go and get that because I quite like that. I played the demo myself, and that was in fact there's content on the channel for that. It was pretty good. So there you go, people. That's the roundup of the sales today. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for more Steam sales. And I'm actually working on a special piece which outlines outlines how, as a marketing exercise and strategy, the Steam sales are just brilliant. So watch out for that, because I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Now make sure you subscribe to Unit Lost Tube. Follow me on Twitter, which is at Unit Lost Gaming. Follow Kirioff, which is at Kirioff, and all that funky stuff. Click all the links in the description, and I'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.